Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. And if you don't already subscribe to our YouTube channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. We're getting more and more subscribers each and every day. And I thank you so much if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. I really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed and you're watching and you like the content, why don't you give us a chance and subscribe to the YouTube channel? I'd really appreciate it, and I'd feel very, very grateful if you did. And I want to give a shout out today for one of our newest subscribers, MGC Universe. MGC Universe. You can catch them on YouTube. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Check them out, MGC Universe. Okay, let's get into it. Big Cass, aka W. Morrissey, in Impact Wrestling, made his debut at Rebellion, and it's official, has just been announced that he is in fact now under contract with Impact Wrestling. So Big Cass, aka, well, let's call him by his name, W. Morrissey, aka Big Cass, is now with Impact Wrestling. Article from Ringside News. It says Big Cass surprised fans at Rebellion when he showed up as W. Morrissey. That appearance resulted in a pretty successful outing, and he impressed some along the way. It appears he's not. It appears he's not leaving Impact Wrestling so soon. According to Fightful Select, W. Morrissey has signed a deal with Impact Wrestling. It wasn't noted how long the contract is for, but he's signed and will be around for the foreseeable future. This is a big deal for the former WWE superstar. It's the first contract he signed with any pro wrestling company since his 2018 release. His departure from WWE was not under the best circumstances. WMRC has been trying very hard to overcome his struggles with alcohol. It seems that he's on the right track and received a golden opportunity with Impact Wrestling. We'll see how things will go. And I just want to say congratulations to Big Cass, WMRC. Awesome news, man. I know, as I said here in the article, he's been struggling with alcohol, and I know he's been struggling with depression. And it's great to see him overcoming those demons and getting this second opportunity at becoming a pro wrestling star. And I think he's going to make the best of it. He's very, very, very talented in the ring. I was a big fan when he was with Enzo Amore when they were in NXT. I thought he was extremely talented. I was a big fan, and I'm just happy he's getting another chance, and it's with Impact Wrestling. I mean, I'm a big Impact Wrestling fan. Impact Wrestling could use a major star, and Big Cass, if he gets everything together, and it appears he's getting everything together in terms of beating alcohol and battling depression, and given the opportunity again, he could be a huge star. He could be a huge, huge star. I mean, he looks great. He kept in terrific shape. He looked tremendous at Rebellion. And I'm just thinking of some of the matchups we could have: him against Moose, him against Josh Alexander, him against Eddie Edwards. I know right now he's with, I don't know if he's going to be officially with Violent by Design. He stepped in, took Eric Young's spot in Violent by Design in that 8-man tag match. So I don't know if he's an official member of Violent by Design or not. I'm sure we'll find out. I know he's making an appearance actually tonight on Impact Wrestling. And hey, it's a big plus for Impact Wrestling. Again, it doesn't say how long the contract is, even if it's like for 4 or 5 months. If it all works out, I know they're giving him an opportunity. They don't want to. I mean, you have to understand with Impact Wrestling. I'm sure they looked at it and they said, "Well, you've had battle demons in the past. Let's give you a short-term contract. If it works out, then we'll go long-term." I could see them doing something like that. And of course, Big Cass or W. Morrissey, I'm so used to calling him Big Cass. So, but I'm sure W. Morrissey he understood that. Took it, signed it, and I could be wrong. I'm just speculating. It could be a 1-year, 2-year deal. Who knows? It could be a longer term deal, but I think he's gonna thrive in Impact Wrestling. I think he's gonna be a major, major star, and I know he's got a lot to prove. I know he wants to prove that the whole WWE thing being released was not the real Big Cass. I think he wants to prove that alcohol and battling depression those are things that could bring you down, but you could beat them and you could build yourself up again. And that's what he wants to prove, in my opinion. And kudos to Impact Wrestling for giving him an opportunity. And it's good because Impact Wrestling needs some new stars, needs some fresh faces. And he's coming in at a perfect time. We got the AEW Impact Wrestling partnership. You got the the Impact Wrestling New Japan Pro Wrestling partnership. So it's a good time to be coming into Impact Wrestling. And I wish him nothing but the best of luck. I'm going to be looking forward to watching him and seeing what he can bring to the table for Impact Wrestling. And again, I think it's a huge signing. I think it's tremendous. And Impact Wrestling's not stopping there. There's a bunch of other names that they're looking at. So we discussed it on a past podcast. So things are going to get interesting again for Impact Wrestling. We're going to see some new faces, and hopefully they're looking at some new stars as well to bring in to really put the icing on the cake, so to speak, at Impact Wrestling. Okay, so Jon Moxley versus Yuji Nagata has finally been announced, and it's taking place an AEW Dynamite. And this is tremendous. So Jon Moxley will be defending the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship against former two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion Yuji Nagata on AEW Dynamite on May 12th. Man, this is going to be freaking phenomenal. And I am so thrilled that it's on AEW Dynamite. I thought it was going to be on Strong, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, on that show, but for them to be on a bigger show in front of a larger crowd and a larger audience on AEW Dynamite, this is going to be one hell of a match, man. This is a match that you cannot miss. Yuji Nagata, 53 years old, but he still has got it, man. He still has it. He still can go. He is so freaking awesome. And this is going to be one tremendous match. One tremendous match. And it looks like the partnership between New Japan and AEW is starting to take shape. Now, we got like Yuji Nagata coming in, and who else? You had Kenta coming in. I'm sure we're gonna, when these COVID restrictions lift, we're gonna see some AEW stars heading over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. But this is a very, very exciting time for professional wrestling. You have AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, AEW. All these partnerships, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have like a huge super like a AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling super show in the works in the future. That would be great. But May 12th, Jon Moxley defending the IWGP US title against New Japan Pro Wrestling star Yuji Nagata. I cannot wait for that. This is going to be fantastic. And this match was actually planned months ago. Wrestling Inc. reporting here. It says it was announced during last night's AEW Dynamite broadcast that IWGP US champion Jon Moxley will defend against Yuji Nagata, as I just mentioned. It says on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio, it was reported the match between Moxley and Nagata has been planned for months. Whether it's unknown where things go from here, but AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling clearly had some communication as of late. Moxley last defended his title against Kenta, which was on New Japan Strong, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling's US show. So I thought it was going to be on that show because right now they're wrestling in front of no crowd. So New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong is in front of no crowd. So I thought that's where the match was going to take place. But to have it on AEW Dynamite, as I said, is just absolutely thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. Can't wait to see that. And and that's the end of the article there. I thought there was a little more in the article, but yeah, so don't miss it. May 12th, Yuji Nagata, Jon Moxley. That's going to be absolutely tremendous. I have to turn my power on for a second. I'm about to lose power. My head's going to disappear. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I always forget to put the power on. You know, I have the computer plugged into a plug here, and you have to turn the power on, and I always forget. But anyway, that's That's me being forgetful, Lou. And we talked about all these, back to the wrestling. We talked about the partnerships, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all coming together, and these great partnerships. They're going to have some great matches, a lot of talent exchanges. But not all partnerships last, though. Not all partnerships last, because Mexican promotion CMLL has announced that they have ended their working relationship with Ring of Honor. Wrestling Inc. also reporting here says the working relationship between Ring of Honor and CMLL has come to an end. In a tweet that you can see below, CMLL announced the dissolution of the partnership effective immediately earlier this afternoon. CMLL began working with Ring of Honor on August 10th, 2016. Wow, that's a long time. That's about 5 years. They brought together due to their respective partnerships with New Japan Pro Wrestling. The agreement saw talent travel between both promotions and was largely seen as a catalyst for Rush signing with Ring of Honor over MLW. Rush would depart CMLL himself in 2019 and has worked in AAA in Mexico, another promotion in Mexico, since. Okay, so CMLL announcing that they're ending their relationship with Ring of Honor. This doesn't come as a surprise. This doesn't come as a surprise at all, because CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling, they have a strong relationship. And with New Japan Pro Wrestling no longer associated with Ring of Honor, they're now associated with AEW and Impact Wrestling. I'm assuming that they're no longer associated with Ring of Honor. I haven't seen any official announcement, unless there was, and I just missed it. But it appears that they're no longer in a partnership with Ring of Honor, and it makes sense. CMLL, with their strong bonds with New Japan Pro Wrestling, they're just following suit. So I would expect we're going to see in the near future, maybe even in a couple of days, that CMLL announces a partnership with AEW. Or CMLL announces a partnership with Impact Wrestling or with AEW and Impact Wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. I think Impact Wrestling might have a partnership with AAA. I'm not entirely sure. I could be wrong. Maybe AEW. I think I might have read that somewhere, but again, I could be wrong. But I don't know if it's a solid relationship. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see CMLL announce a partnership with AEW and or Impact Wrestling in the near future. Again, with their strong bonds to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I'm sure they're just going to follow suit. So as we have some great partnerships, like I said, all partnerships do come to an end. Good relationships come to an end. CMLL ending their relationship with Ring of Honor. But I think Ring of Honor will be okay. Ring of Honor has such tremendous talent in there right now, and they're just building and building and building. And I think Ring of Honor will be just fine. And on that note, and again, there are other relationships that Ring of Honor could look towards as well. There's plenty of promotions in Japan that they could look at. You have All Japan Pro Wrestling. Nobody has a partnership with All Japan Pro Wrestling, so Ring of Honor could look at that. I'm sure there are other promotions in Mexico they could look to. So I think Ring of Honor will be okay. If Ring of Honor wants to get together with MLW, hey, that'll be fine too. That'll be fine by me as well. But as I said, Ring of Honor will be just fine. Will be just fine. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.